I kind of grew up around real estate, but I didn't know, didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get started, but I knew, but then I found Bigger Pockets. All right. And Bigger Pockets is all about, creating wealth through rental properties. And I found Brandon Turner, the beardy Brandon, right? And he, back in the day, was putting on every Wednesday, he was putting on a free live webinar catered to new people wanting to get into rentals and learn how to, what's it called? How to basically analyze deals and, what to look for and how to crunch the cash flow numbers. And ultimately he taught me, like, hey, you want at least $100 net cash flow per door. You want 12% cash on cash return. And I attended these weekly Wednesday webinars for like 2 or 3 months, just getting obsessed with the idea of buying a rental property. But of course, here living in California, like that is much easier said than done, right? Like you don't buy rentals in California unless you're already rich and you're probably just trying to park money somewhere. So I knew that I had to do it out of state. But because I have no experience and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, the easiest way to get into that is with a partner, right? Like it's always so much easier to get somebody else that is as excited as you are and just go in together. So luckily I had a friend that I play a lot of poker with in Vegas, and he was already a real estate broker. He had his broker's license. He had some agents underneath him. And I talked to him about the idea of rental properties, and I got him hooked on it as well. And we both decided that we were going to buy some rentals. And we picked a market, Cleveland, Ohio. I would probably pick a different market this time around, but we picked Cleveland, Ohio. And we ended up meeting through the grapevine, through, Facebook groups and whatnot. Guess who we met? A fucking wholesaler in Cleveland, Ohio. And that was my first experience with a wholesaler. And he was a grimy wholesaler, my man. Like he was just he's like literally like, if you picture what wholesaler is, like you and I, we're stand-up businessmen, right? Like this is a grimy wholesaler. And he's been doing it a long time. In 2008, he picked up lots of properties. He owned lots of rentals and he wholesaled lots of deals. And I flew out to Vegas because that's where my buddy Chris is. And we met with him, this wholesaler. He flew out to meet with us in Vegas. And we met at, we all went to this bar at what hotel? It was not Treasure Island. It's one of those shitty hotels. The restaurant, there's a restaurant called Dick's where all the waiters are super mean to you. It was actually pretty funny. But we all sat at the bar there and we just talked. We chopped it up for a couple hours about Cleveland and rentals. And he's like, yeah, I got these two rentals in like this area called Detroit Shoreway, which is a good area of Cleveland. And he was like, I got these 2 rentals. I can give them to you for $75,000 each. They're already tenant occupied, Section 8. They're getting $1,250 a month. And me and Chris look at each other. We're like, let's fucking go. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for. So we got a hard money loan. That's a whole nother story, but we got a hard money loan and we ended up having to come to the table with, I think, like $25,000, which we split $12,000 each. And we ended up getting these 2 rentals. And that was the first experience we had with rentals. And, I could go on and on and on about this and where I am today, but ultimately that is what that moment really changed my life. And me and Chris were like, we got to stack rentals. So now 3 years later, I guess 4 years later, almost 5 years later, Chris and I, we own about 40 rentals together. And we have another market that we opened up to Indianapolis. So we have about half of our portfolio in Cleveland, half of our portfolio in Indianapolis. And we've really slowed down because now we don't really buy any rentals together now. But we bought all of those rentals over a 2-3 year time frame, and we got them all with hard or private money, which is a little bit scary. But we got lucky with the market booming over the last couple of years with COVID and whatnot. We got lucky that the portfolio like doubled in value. So so it was pretty sweet. And then we made it our goal to get our private money lenders paid back. Specifically, I have one friend with big money that was willing to give us money at 12% interest only. He had one friend, same deal. He's like a Bitcoin millionaire that he was willing to give us money at 12% interest only. And ultimately, we used all of those two people's money to buy these rentals. And now we have like 30 doors, and we're like, shit, they're out of money, and we have all of these bridge loans that are going to get called due. We need to refi into something permanent. So it took about a year and a half for us to refi everything. And we did a couple different portfolio loans. And now all of our properties are on permanent 20-year financing loans.